interesting weather. We are, of course, keeping a very close eye on that potential for snow as we move into the weekend early next week. I'm going to update you on my thoughts on that coming up.
You know what was really fun this morning? My daughter and I, we got up and we watched the sunrise.
Yes.
She woke up really early. But what was super cool too is the supermoon was it was so bright. It was almost like we were distracted by the moon and watching the sunrise.
Yes, and it was really, pretty super. It lived up to it.
You know what she told me? She goes, Mom, it's actually brightest though between 1 and 3. And I said, did you hear that from Katie McGraw?
I told you she said that.
She said she heard it from on the weather.
Okay, I'll take credit, but I don't remember saying it. But that's amazing. And it was honestly, truthfully, one of the better supermoons we've had in a while. Incredibly bright. Actually, one of our security cameras fell in the breeze, and it was down on the ground, and I could see the moon. It was like perfect.
Oh, cool.
Just little clips of it,
Happy
throughout
accident.
the night.
I love that.
And it still kind of looks full because it was officially full yesterday. But the problem is on-off pattern all week long, so we're back on tomorrow. 50 degrees right now in Cleveland, 48 for Akron, 49 for Worcester, and also Mansfield. Temperatures for everybody pretty steady here. A little bit cooler for Mentor and Ashtabula, mid-40s there. Most of us upper 40s, low 50s. That Lake Erie water temperature that's going to be pivotal in a couple of days. Still pretty mild in the mid-50s. It'll be a quiet night. More clouds. A little bit breezy once we get into the overnight, and those winds are only going to pick up as we move into tomorrow. We'll start off with a southerly wind about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Eventually, we could see even stronger winds, gusts over 35, 40 miles per hour for tomorrow. Low temperatures tonight. We've got some 30s. It'll be chilly. That's not really the focus, truth be told. We have currently nothing to show you on the radar, but that's expected to change here by the time we get into tomorrow. So the morning commute shouldn't be affected. Honestly, neither commute. Looks like it should arrive after the morning drive and get out before the evening. But rain to the west by 8 a.m. Rain likely about mid to late morning through the afternoon. Lunchtime is really go time. Gusty winds then by 5 p.m. So at this point, rain's already pushing to the east. So Futurecast shows us here mostly cloudy conditions. It'll be cool for tonight. A stray shower possible early in the morning on Friday, but that main line holding off for our western communities between about 8 and 10. It should arrive, be rolling through. For downtown Cleveland, we're looking more like 10 to noon. Farther to the east, it'll probably be noon to 1 p.m. or so that you start to see some of that heavier rain, and there's certainly pockets of heavier rain. By the time we get to 4 or 5 o'clock, though, look at that. It's basically all over. A couple lingering showers for our eastern communities into the evening. And then for Friday night plans, you don't need the umbrella. It will be a little bit chilly. And on Saturday, we'll have a chance for a couple of light showers. These are not going to be real impactful. The better and more impactful weather holds off till Sunday, Monday. Rainfall amounts with this next system going to be anywhere from about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain for a lot of us. There could be a couple of spots that are more like 1/10 of an inch. And as I mentioned, those winds are picking up. It's going to get windy as we move throughout the overnight and into tomorrow. So we have our next system bringing rain. We have one behind that, and we're just going to have system after system impacting us for the next couple of days. So Futurecast shows us that next cold front will push through tomorrow in the afternoon and evening. We're bringing in the next cold front, next low pressure then by Saturday. That's going to usher in that colder air, which is going to give us that potential for changeover.
Now, it looks pretty calm out there.
Yeah.
Same in downtown Cleveland.
Yeah, he has like the inner part of our jacket.
Yeah.
Yes, and we might need the outer layers soon as we start to get doubling up here, because it is expected to get more active as these temperatures at this moment. Not my focus. It's going to get a little bit breezy overnight, then rain starts to return. Timing here, about 10 to 4, so 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So rain to our western communities, western waterfront, that's where you will start to see some of those showers. Then as we get to mid and late morning, early afternoon, that's our highest chance for rain. It will be heavy at times. Plus, winds are going to start to pick up. Overnight, we start to see those winds increasing. It doesn't look like it'll be as gusty as yesterday, but we'll definitely monitor that. Some of our computer models are pumping out gusts closer to 45 miles per hour. It's definitely going to be another noticeable day with the gusts. And currently, we do not have anything on the Power 5 radar. We've got to zoom way out to see our next system here, and next system after that is way far out into the Pacific. This is why we are still several days out when it comes to talking about the potential for snow, and why we won't be able to give exact details quite yet. Compare that to Friday, which truthfully this system has been such a breeze to forecast. Last Friday, it started to show up in timing wise, and it's basically stayed the exact same all week long. A line of showers, gusty showers at that, maybe a rumble of thunder, pockets of some heavy rain at times. Best chance is going to be from that mid-morning to about the late afternoon. So again, 10 to 4 is our best chance. By the time we get to this point tomorrow, we're already a lot drier. Evening plans on Friday shouldn't be too impacted from this system. It'll still be breezy, but rain chances are getting out of here around sunset or so. Moving into Saturday, it's not going to be the most active day of the weekend. A couple of showers can't be ruled out, but it becomes more likely by Saturday night and into Sunday. In terms of rainfall amounts, 1/4 to a 1/2 inch in the next 24 hours. There will certainly be some areas that pick up only about 1/10 of an inch of rain. So at this point, this many days out still, we're in this 3 to 5 day, and we're starting to see, is it likely? Is it going to be snow? Is it rain? These are things I feel pretty confident on. It does look likely. It does look like we'll get some snow, some lake effect snow at that. But the exact timing, which would play a huge role in amounts, impacts to schools, to driving, that is all still very much a question mark. So on Sunday, we've got rain eventually changing over to a wintry mix by Sunday night. That's when we could start to see a couple of those wet flakes. Best chance for snow looks to be on Monday, lake effect snow, and then it's looking like it's going to be snow. I think it's going to change from rain to over to snow by the time we get to Sunday night and into Monday. Most impactful day looking to be Monday, but that's where we're going to iron out all those details in the next 1 to 3 days, talking about timing, impacts to your drive, things like that. So we have the weekend to really start to narrow all of that down. Of course, we're going to continue to monitor it. Any changes that we see, we'll let you know. Sitting in the 40s right now. Oh my goodness, Worcester, you're already at 36, and the sun's been down for an hour. Cooling fast here. We've got temperatures across Northeast Ohio. Most of us, Worcester's kind of our outlier here. Most of us still in the mid and low 40s. 41 for Ravenna, 43 for Mentor. Excuse me, Ravenna is 41. Mentor is 43. Ashtabula sitting at 40, 45 in Sandusky. And it's going to be a quiet evening. Chilly temperatures, increasing clouds, increasing winds, and eventually increasing our rain chances. Morning drive and evening drive shouldn't be super affected by the rain tomorrow. It's going to be to the west of us by 8 a.m. 9, 10 o'clock for our most western communities. For Cleveland, that puts you around, let's say, 10 a.m. to noon. And then we'll continue to push to the east. Rain will be likely right in that midday time frame. Lunchtime, you typically walk to go get your lunch. Maybe rethink that tomorrow, especially with those gusty winds. But then by 5 p.m., most of the rain's out of here. Winds will be increasing, as I mentioned, overnight and into tomorrow. It doesn't look like it'll be as strong of winds as what we had yesterday, but still, it'll be noticeable. Currently, we're not seeing very much activity on our radar. You got to look pretty far to the west to see our next system that's going to bring the rain first for tomorrow, and then the system after that, which is our weekend system. Cold front, cold front, cold front. That's what we were talking about on Tuesday when I was here, the cold front parade. Futurecast shows us mostly cloudy conditions to start off the day. As I mentioned, the morning drive looks okay. Getting the kids off to the bus, not an issue. It's more around lunchtime that we start to bring in the showers, some thunder showers, some heavy rain at times. So right in the heart of the middle of the day is when it's going to be most impactful. 4 to 6 p.m., we're clearing those showers out already. By the time we get to Friday evening plans, it's going to be chilly, but much drier. Saturday, we have isolated showers. Sunday, we have a much better potential to see some of that activity, starting as rain, changing to mix, and then eventually snow. Rainfall amounts for tomorrow, about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch for most of us. Looking at Futurecast zoomed out here at these systems, are going to be impacting us. So we get rid of the cold front for tomorrow. Next one hot on its tail, moving through. This is going to then bring that much colder air mass, and then there's a disturbance that hangs around, activating the lake effect snow machine. So the majority of us don't have very much wind at all. It's only about a 5-mile-per-hour wind, but that is expected to change as we move into the overnight and tomorrow for sure. So temperatures right now, we've got 36 for Ravenna, 38 for Mentor, 34 for Ashtabula. Certainly getting a little bit chilled there. We started to see clouds increase this afternoon. We're going to see more of that throughout the course of tonight, preventing our temperatures from dropping too much. Probably low 40s along the lake Lake Shore, mid-30s farther inland. It'll certainly be chilly, and then the winds start to pick up after midnight. Southerly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour by about 3 a.m. Here are those low temperatures here. There's not a huge spread of numbers. Of course, it will still be warmer, closer to that 55-degree water out in Lake Erie, and so temperatures staying slightly milder there, but still some upper 30s. So starting off your Friday on a chilled note and mostly cloudy note, but you shouldn't have to deal with the rain as you head out the door. The earlier you leave, the drier you will be. If you don't leave your house until 10 a.m., that's a little bit different. If you're like me, it's the middle of the afternoon, we're gonna have to deal with those showers. You usually walk to lunch or something, or you go and grab your lunch. Tomorrow might not be the best day for it. Rain is likely, plus it will be gusty once again. Best chance for rain about 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can see here as we move into that overnight period, timestamps on the bottom here, 4 a.m. already seeing gusts of 25 miles per hour. We get into tomorrow morning, gusts over 35 miles per hour, maybe even over 40 for a period of time in the afternoon. So we can thank this system right here for the rain tomorrow, kicking up our winds. Then we start to dry up. Basically, that on-off pattern continues. Here's high pressure that'll try to build in for Saturday, keeping the rain chance pretty low. Then on Sunday, things start to get interesting. That's the winter system. So first things first, tomorrow, increasing clouds overnight. You should be dry, truthfully, until the mid-morning for our western communities, probably between about 8 and 10. You'll start to see that arrival. Cleveland, here we are at lunchtime, right at noon. Heavy rain at times. We're going to continue to have those showers, couple of thunderstorms, gusty winds, all the way until about 4 or 5 o'clock. Then we're dry. At this time tomorrow, it doesn't look like we'll be dealing with too much activity at that point. As I mentioned on Saturday, just an isolated shower or two. The chance for precipitation really goes up once we get into Sunday. Now, it is looking more and more likely that we're going to get snow. We're still